Friday.
Yeah.
You be him.
Especially you be him, Charlie.
Is the Cries at Work experience.
And this time
12
around,
years of
Charlie,
Adum Praise.
there's a lot of practical application because
Yeah, so without the him, you know.
Are you in the choir?
The way people
Kojo? Are you in the
I'm
choir?
not.
Raymond?
they couldn't afford my
No,
they
not
couldn't
in the
afford my
multimedia
vocal skills.
choir. I had applied, they rejected me. The King George has a very special way of rejecting me.
Yes.
So he rejected me.
Yeah, the
But
system
in
works.
all
That's
fairness,
unfortunate
the
because
system
George
works.
extended an
With this-
invitation to Winston, yes.
I don't
Really?
know what happened there.
with this-
That's the only time the system failed.
I agree with you in that instance, but in my case, I think that there could have been other reasons
For those who sang with me when I used to lead my
Yeah,
singing group.
Randy.
And,
You lead with singing
I
group.
was years ago, about 25 years ago.
So
I was
we'll see
leading
you on
a singing
Friday
group.
on the stage.
Yes, I will be there. Don't mind these.
As for leading singing group here.
I was the lead singer.
I was the lead singer.
What are you
A
talking
lot of people who
about?
have shocked me in that role that I realized, and I saw a video, I thought it was a joke, of Francisca Abla D'Souza singing in church.
Oh yeah, she's
The-
a very
the-
good singer.
yes.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
Yes, I
very
agree,
good
but
singer.
I was not sure whether the human being that I know is the same person singing,
Hey.
but it was only fair that, I mean, clearly.
What are you?
Yeah, but it's experience, I
Okay.
mean, clearly.
Even you wanted to join the class.
Well,
Anyway.
let's go ahead with our drive safe, Kojo.
Actually, no, I'll let you go. Yeah,
All
go
right,
on.
so our Drive Safe campaign brought to you by Joy News and Multimedia Group and supported by Toyota Ghana Company Limited, Toyota Superior Quality and Imperial General Assurance Solid Protection. So handle your steering and brakes with care. Steer firmly but gradually, avoiding harsh movements. An increased awareness means that you can brake earlier and with a smoother motion. That's how to ensure your safe arrival.
Let's now learn how to say it right. Brought to us by Kingdom Books. At Kingdom, quality and affordability are their hallmarks.
Something must be done.
You say either, I say.
You know, I'm sometimes accused of being biased against one or the other of our two main political parties. That doesn't bother me much because here at Joy, we have a job to do, and that job is to bring facts to our audience. If the facts don't favor one party or the other, well, I honestly couldn't care less. Which reminds me of today's phrase for Say It Right. It's couldn't care less, not could care less. Now, and this is really a commonly made mistake. I couldn't care less means I don't care. It literally means I care the least amount possible. It is therefore not possible for me to care any less than I do. Hence, I couldn't care less. But when you say, I could care less, you're saying it is possible for you to care less than you do. You're actually suggesting that it would be a good idea if you reduced the amount of care you have. In other words, you care too much. So I hope this settles the matter of how to say it right. I also hope it settles the matter of my fictitious bias. Although if you still don't get it, I still couldn't care less. And that's how you say it right.
Right, so that's how you say it, right? Let's get into the news review.
Brought to us by Enterprise Life's Family Income Security Plan. Enterprise Your Advantage, Access Bank, More Than Banking, and CompuGhana, Passion for Technology.
I'm starting with the Ghanaian Times, and it's reporting this morning 2022 World AIDS Day commemoration. I think I like my voice. Why am I not in the choir? But I mean, yeah.
Tickle yourself.
Ghana's HIV infections hit 21,000 annually in the last 5 years.
Wow.
So every single year, on the average, we have 21,000 people in the Republic of Ghana who actually are infected with HIV/AIDS. And we should be-
21,000 new people.
not new people, as in consistently the case.
Oh, right.
Yes. And the problem here is that even though we've been trying very hard to get people to use protection, and the main option is to abstain, they are not doing so. I am worried about how we are, because some of these things we ignore because there isn't so much support for it and all of that, and we move on. But I'm worried about how young people and also those in the middle class are refusing to use protection. if you want to do things that are ungodly, at least protect the next generation.
Please. What do you mean by ungodly?
No, I'm talking about those who are not licensed to do it.
It doesn't make it ungodly.
Raymond, yesterday I was in a salon, and I had the story of a 30-year-old who has, had now because she's passed. She had HIV/AIDS.
Oh, okay.
And she was on medication. She was doing great until a pastor prophesied and said she had been healed. So she went off the medication, and this is a true story that I'm telling you. She's left behind an 8-month-old baby.
Seriously?
With 5 other children. Yes. So she was walking around thinking she was free. And
should he even go to do the test or something? I mean, at some point, somebody should advise her that, okay, let's check and be sure whether the spiritual healing you got is really manifested.
And auntie actually backed her.
That she was okay.
Yes.
And she was very, oh, come on. Anyway, so we need to do a lot more education. We need to help people, and we need to stop people from spreading it. And sometimes they may not even know. One of the ways you stop spreading is having multiple partners. And that's very important anyway. Now, that's the main story here. Take action to end galamsey. Church leaders are asking the president. One of the key things they are saying is stop small-scale mining. And I back this 100%. I think it's one of the easiest way of showing evidence that we are serious about this. There's a story about 4 dead and 19 injured in a road crash on the Mankasim and Apam Road 2. And a man has been jailed 21 years too for defiling an 11-year-old. That is the man's own daughter. Yeah, of all the options you have in this world. Anyway,
That's
Your own daughter.
yes.
That's painful.
Anyway.
Well, front page of the Daily Graphic newspaper, errant internal auditors risk 5 years in jail, according to the Director General. No private emails for official use, directed by MMDA's SOEs effective January. So public sector and state institutions will connect to a smart workplace common platform for all official communications, according to
That's a step in the right
this story.
direction. That's very good. It's taken a while, though. I mean, this is the kind of thing that people lose their presidencies over. Didn't Hillary Clinton?
I was
end up,
mentioning that earlier.
Yeah. So it's the kind of thing that should have been standard for us for a long time. I'm glad that finally, it's being implemented. There are so many dangers of doing that, that we don't pay attention to. People can easily be scammed if we accept it as a norm that government workers can use private email for official communication.
Yeah.
Dangerous.
And the Kumasi Diocese of the Anglican Church last Sunday inducted into office Esiedu Baswa as Chancellor of the Kumasi Province of the Church. Congratulations to him. On page 21, when you grab their Daily Graphic later this morning, if you want to know where you can get a ticket to Adum Praise Festival happening on Thursday and Friday, well, it's on the page 21. Check it out and see, the outlets that is closer to you, so you can grab a ticket for 100 Ghana cedis and 150 and be part of Adum Praise. Oh, hang on the back page of the Daily Graphic. GFA receives $2.5 million World Cup money, 8 million more to follow. Except that I think I heard in the news that government is not revealing. The sports minister is tight-lipped on the amounts of money that were taken to the World Cup.
Why?
Says it will be disclosed after the World Cup.
But it's not his salary.
That's what
we're
I heard
asking
from
about.
Joy Sports.
Even his salary requires public knowledge. So why would he not want to tell us how much we are spending on our own national team? Hey.
Okay, let's get to the finder for this morning. Vote of censure. Let Oforiacha be heard. That's according to Deputy Majority Leader Alexander Penyumaking. NPP executives in Ghana Gas operational areas defend Dr. Benasante. Minority to hold further consultations on NIA and EC petitions. But imports of 20 items valued at $10 billion annually. And on the front page here it says tin tomatoes, $1 billion annually. Rice, $800 million. Flour for all your bread and pastries and everything. $600 million.
Yes.
Poultry and meat, $400 million.
Yes.
Toilet rolls and tissue, $100 million. And the list continues.
Yeah, there are so many other things there. Furniture, sugar, fish, cooking oil. soap, cosmetics, tiles, textiles, beverages. We're spending $10 billion
Yeah.
on these things. And to be perfectly honest, there's nothing on this list that Ghana doesn't have the capacity to produce.
And I had always envisioned that our one district, one factory plan should have just targeted the top 10. That in the next, if we take 6 years to actually set up these factories properly and start production and get it to the levels that we wanted it, within 6 years, we'd have phased out the importation of these products.
But have you noticed something? Every time this matter comes up, what you hear from government is that we need to change our tastes. we consumers need to change our tastes. Okay, so stop preferring the one that you prefer today because we are importing it, and start preferring the one that is made in Ghana. But it's not so simple. First of all, you have to make enough in Ghana so that it's a viable alternative. Secondly, there needs to be a certain amount of leadership. In Nigeria, in the Asian tigers, where they made sure that their citizens consumed their own products, there was a need for legislation to ensure that in some cases you can't import.
Okay. Now, let me do the daily guide before we go. Akufo-Addo testifies against 4. This is Edward Akufo-Addo, the president's brother. And it's a defamation case that's running in court. And court threatens to free Aisha 1 and accomplices because the court has difficulties with the kind of prosecution that's ongoing in that case.
And particularly the interpreters. So they say they don't have Vietnamese and Chinese interpreters.
And it's not being supplied at the time that they wanted them. Consistently, we've had to defer. But there's a story that you should not be interested in. It's about the dollar and pen noise. And the noise is being listed here. You see, the cartoon is talking about dollar headlines, dollar after adverts, dollar experts, business in dollars, sports dollars, foreign news in dollars. Oh,
Hang on.
they are most possible.
So yesterday I bought a ticket to Kumasi.
Yeah.
Two-way. And because I bought a ticket last month, the difference, there was almost 500 Ghana cedis difference, and I was like, wow, what happened? Samuel is the guy at Passion Air that I deal with, and he was telling me that they buy the fuel in dollars in Ghana. Meanwhile, they deal with the local OMC, and they pay in dollars. The airport company, that's also the landlord, also charges in dollars. And when they buy their spare parts outside and they bring, there are taxes on it. I mean, how do we want local companies like that to survive if we're doing so? Government entities are also dealing with local companies in dollars.
They're
What do you
part
want
of
them
the
to
noise
do?
makers on their thing.
We pay for the ticketing in cedis. They have to go and buy dollars so they can pay the landlord and also pay for fuel. How is that? And that reminds me, we've been talking about the hardships, the difficulties, and I've been talking about companies struggling to keep their workforce.
Yes.
You have to help me celebrate the managing director of Casapreco Company Limited.
Oh, yes.
Richard J. Because listen, in addition to other measures that they've taken to cushion staff and other measures, including just recently, they were giving fuel 8 cedis per litre, and they upped it to 13 Ghana cedis just before the new increments. And effective November, this is contracts, permanent and casual employees will get double salary. Double salary.
Just for November.
Yes.
Wow.
So it can help them cushion themselves. We want to say big ups to Casapreco.
It's a very sensible program and system that other companies will do well to replicate.
Yes.
Would you agree with me, right?
Yes.
There's consensus, right?
Brought to us by Zenith Bank.
Winston, you
In
can't
your
say
best
that you
interest.
support this call.
Oh, but I think it's a
Why
good
won't
call.
I support? If I'm going to be
Do you know what double salary would do for you?
Yes.
The psychology
This
of
is not
very-
illegal double salary. Legal double salary.
This is not
No,
the one
it
that
sounded like that
special
was
prosecutor
double salary.
will be interested in. No.
I guess I have to clarify.
Yeah, okay, yeah. It's important so that
No special prosecutor.
yeah.
But the psychology is sound,
Brilliant.
because look, it's your workers that contribute to your profits. So if you have a good year.
Okay, well, let's get to the Chronicle this morning. And Proverbs chapter 15, verse 6.
Preach on, brother.
Great wealth is in the house of the righteous.
Amen. Oh.
But trouble is in the income of the wicked. Great wealth
Yes.
is in the house of the righteous.
Right.
But trouble is in the income of the wicked. Family files 10 million suit against police AG over the death of their relative. That's in the Asanteachim area.
How is it linked to this one?
They haven't
No,
said
wait.
this.
Maybe another one is coming.
Go on.
Let's do the other ones.
Yeah.
Minority vows to block EC on use of Ghana for voter registration.
No.
It's not that one. Government to collaborate with RAN Refinery for LBMA certification.
No.
And NDC parliamentary candidate for Eskado Ketan constituency in the 2020 elections. My lord, I'm no more interested in this case. So it looks like the big one is family files 10 million.
But trouble in the income of the wicked, is it? Because there's trouble in my income. I'm not wicked.
Well, let's get to the online news review now, brought to us by Zenith Bank in your best interest and Goyle Good Energy.
And have you linked your Ghana card to your Zenith Bank account? If it is no, what are you waiting for? Do it the easy way. Simply visit zenithbank.com.gh and look out for the Ghana card adverts and linkage tab on the homepage. Link your card to your account today. It's quick, easy, and very convenient. Zenith Bank in your best interests.
Now, this is something I've said. Akufo-Addo did not categorically say he will sack Ufuriata and Edubuahi. And the majority leader is the one confirming this. All right, there are other stories online. You can check out myjoyonline.com for those. On citynewsroom.com and others, there are other stories that you can read as well. Right now, though, time for the BBC News, brought to us by Fidelity Bank, Believe with Us, and Silver Star Auto, your trusted partner.
For decades, we have helped businesses connect with their trade partners all over the globe. From Ghana to Burkina Faso, Côte d'Ivoire, Benin, Togo, Senegal, China, Morocco, France, Netherlands, and many other countries. We have made it possible to bring Ghana to the world. We have brought small and medium businesses closer to their customers across the regions in Ghana with our SME support facilities. We have brought relief and smiles to the faces of families with our employee personal loans. With our cutting-edge technology and digital support, we take the burden of complex thinking off you, making life simple. That is who we are, as close as a partner. Bank of Africa. We are indeed the African bank with the global reach.
At Enterprise Life, it's possible to live your best life. Ladies, enjoy cover for your lifestyle with Bloom Life Insurance for today's woman. Families, let's safeguard your well-being with a family income security plan because family matters. And for you, live freely with our Funeral Finance Plan Unlimited with no restrictions, no limits as you cover your loved ones and yourself. WhatsApp us on 0554 001 924 or call 0307 084 444 for your solution.
You for dream big. Dream big with us.
Enterprise, your advantage.
Ghana cashback promotion is back again. This time, shop, save, win a car, TV, PS5, and many more. Visit any Compute Ghana branch nationwide now till December and enjoy up to 40% discount on your favorite products from laptops, mobile phones, TVs, and many more. Stand a chance to win a brand new car when you shop at least 1,000 Ghana cedi worth of products. Yes, it's the cashback season. Shop online at www.computeghana.com or contact us on 0302-752020. This promo is in partnership with the National Lottery Authority on the Caritas Lottery platform. Terms and conditions apply.
Hey,
Razi Tiemi. Razi increment in my salary. This is all I ask this season. Razi Boami.
Mpaibo Mbappe, please stop disturbing God and switch your salary account to Access Bank now to get a triple salary.
Oh yes, it's as simple as that. Switch your salary account to Access Bank and stand a chance of winning 3 times your monthly salary. You heard me right. 3 times your salary. Also win exciting prizes like school fee scholarships, free DSTV subscriptions, interest-free loans, free insurance cover, cashback rewards, and a lot more by spending a minimum of 500 Ghana cedis with any of our Visa card. Promo runs from now to 30th April 2023. This promo is in partnership with NLA on the Caritas Lottery platform. Terms and conditions apply. Access Bank. More than banking.
Small hometown becomes one of the highest paid sports stars on the planet. What kind of difference can he make to his former community? We speak to people who have benefited from donations from Premier League footballers they grew up with.
This is the BBC World Service, the world's radio station.
It's 7 o'clock in London. Hello and welcome to Newsday on the BBC World Service with Reedy Clabby and James Cotnell.
Coming up, North Korea gives a powerful warning to the United States and South Korea over its military drills by firing multiple missiles, and one has landed just 60 kilometers from the coast of South Korea.
With the Israeli election results still undecided, Palestinians and Liberals are concerned by the possible return of Benjamin Netanyahu to government.
There are worries about what that can mean for Israel to have a coalition that is probably the most right-wing that Israel has ever seen.
We look at a migrant crisis here in the United Kingdom, with critics saying it's partly of the government's making.
Also here in the UK, we'll head to a small village that's becoming the first place where true, magnetic and grid north meet at a single point in the Northern Hemisphere. Sports 2, that's after the latest world news.
Hello, I'm David Harper with the BBC News. South Korea's President Yoon Suk-yeol has described the latest round of North Korean missile launches as an effective territorial invasion after one crossed the maritime border for the first time since the peninsula's division. The ballistic missile was one of at least 10 projectiles fired by Pyongyang on Wednesday. From Seoul, here's Jean Mackenzie.
It's the first time the North has fired a missile to land off South Korea's coast, making it more serious than other recent launches. Residents of a nearby island were told to take shelter. The North has blamed South Korea and the United States for holding a series of large-scale military exercises and has warned they'll pay the most horrible price in history if these exercises continue, a veiled threat to use nuclear weapons. South Korea's president has called this a territorial invasion, even though it didn't land in its waters.
Chinese authorities have ordered a coronavirus lockdown in the area around the world's largest iPhone plant, days after workers there were seen fleeing because of strict COVID rules on site. The measures in Zhengzhou will last for 7 days in a move likely to curtail shipments in and out of the factory, run by the firm Foxconn. The plant employs 300,000 people. Videos last week showed workers scrambling over fences and walking along highways to get home. Vote counting is underway in Israel after the country's 5th general election in 4 years. The former Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu told supporters he was on the verge of a big victory. Yolande Nell is monitoring developments.
We are getting election results through all the time as the ballots are counted, more than 60% at the moment. And what we're seeing at the moment is that they do still look to be very much in Benjamin Netanyahu's favour, putting his Likud party on track for a first-place finish with more than a quarter of the 120 parliamentary seats. That number, along with the projected number of seats for that extreme right religious Zionism party, also 2 ultra-Orthodox Jewish parties that are in his bloc, would definitely give them a majority.
Kenya is deploying its first peacekeepers to the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo. The troops will help the Congolese army suppress a surge in violence by the rebel M23 group. From Nairobi, Richard Kagwe reports.
The Kenyan soldiers will arrive in the Democratic Republic of Congo as part of the East Africa Community Regional Force. Kenya Defence Forces have been deploying logistical support systems since September in readiness for the planned operations against the rebels. The contingent's first mission will be recapturing the border city of Bunagana that was seized by the M23 in June. The East Africa Community agreed on a troop deployment deal to combat rebels early this year. DRC has accused Rwanda of supporting the M23 group. Kigali has denied those accusations.
Richard Kakaway reporting. World news from the BBC. Human Rights Watch is warning that more than 200,000 people in northeast Nigeria who've been displaced by an Islamist insurgency are struggling to meet their basic needs for food and shelter. The rights group said the problem was exacerbated by the Borno state authorities shutting down camps for internally displaced people. It said by August this year, more than 140,000 people had been removed from the camps and told to go home. A judge in the U.S. state of Arizona has handed a temporary restraining order ahead of next week's midterm elections to Clean Elections USA, a group which believes the 2020 election was stolen. The order comes after 2 members were seen wearing military gear and allegedly armed while monitoring an early voting drop box. Brazil's President Jair Bolsonaro has authorised officials to begin the transfer of power following his narrow defeat in Sunday's election. But in his first public address since the vote, he made no admission of his loss to the left-winger Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva. Mr. Bolsonaro said the blockading of hundreds of roads by his supporters reflected the dissatisfaction with the voting system. The UK intelligence services are changing their requirements to make it easier for a broader range of people to apply. Applicants still need to be British citizens, but don't now need to have a British parent. More detail from our security correspondent, Gordon Carrera.
Before today, those wishing to join the ranks of British intelligence needed to have at least one parent who was British or from an approved list of countries. That includes the Commonwealth, British Overseas Territories, the European Economic Area and the US. But that requirement will no longer apply for those seeking to join GCHQ, MI5 and MI6. An applicant will, however, need to be a British citizen, and officials say successful candidates will still need to go through a robust vetting process.
BBC News.
Up next, we asked some Ghanaians what they would do if they were blessed with 100,000 Ghana cedis. Hey! 100,000 Ghana cedis by this time. Masa, I'll buy a new car with sunroof. Make me a shame.
Me, 100,000 Ghana cedis. And on free Hakona Vungu, maybe a shop's bare 5. Baku Wakumase, Baku was Sekendi, Baku Wali Wali. It's just a me nationwide Ankasa. We did see share.
You can also win 100,000 Ghana cedis in the Fidelity Bank Sika Boom promo. All you have to do is deposit and maintain 300 Ghana cedis and multiples of it in your Fidelity account every month during the promo period to qualify. There's loads of cash to be won in the monthly draws with a whooping 100,000 Ghana cedis in the grand draw. Make that 300 Ghana cedi deposit today. This promo runs from August 2022 to February 2023 and is in partnership with the NLA on the Currencies Lottery platform. Terms and conditions apply. Fidelity Bank. Believe with us.
When everything works in your car, it all sounds so smooth. But when you replace them with inferior parts, it doesn't quite sound the same. Get original Peugeot and Citroen parts and expert servicing from Silver Star Auto, the official distributor for Citroen and Peugeot in Ghana. Visit silverstar.com.gh or follow us on social media for more details.
However safe traveling may seem, risks of all sorts, including ill health, physical security, accidents and natural disasters, remain unpredictable with consequences that could be dire. Glyco Life Travel Insurance provides you with an insurance cover to relieve you financially and physically should you encounter any of the unforeseen events while traveling. With its solid international network, Glyco Travel Insurance guarantees you medical and emergency assistance if you fall ill, including care for COVID-19 infection, personal 24-hour assistance services, replacement for loss of baggage, passport, driving license, national identity card, and equivalent consular documents. Glyco Travel Insurance also guarantees you cover for personal accident, personal liability, compensation for trip cancellation or curtailment, losses and delays that last over 4 hours. Contact Glyco Life on 0302-218-500 or on 020-222-2113 on WhatsApp for a travel insurance policy that's best suits your needs for an enjoyable travel in absolute peace of mind. Glyco, we cushion you for life.
He's up bright and early, serving your premium morning radio show. The Morning Man. It's the Morning Man, Kojo Yankson.
Coffee in your cup and joy on the set. The Super Morning Show is always the best on Joy 99.7 FM.
Baby, what?
Coffee in your cup and joy on the set. The Super Morning Show is always the best on Joy 99.7 FM.
Me I go party hard. You know me I go party hard. Me want to party hard. That's me now party hard. On the way to the Raven, and the men them can't wait for Raven. I'm in the back of the line with juice and I'm back in blatant. I'm lean, just a bit tipsy, but I ain't complaining. Outside the club, the line looks thick and the girls are gazing. So this line is a long thing, I hope it don't take all night. Can't wait till I get inside. Wanna race to the morning light. We getting down. Finally, I see ravers getting down. And these days got my tune on, and now I wanna get my groove on. So I wanna party hard. You see me want party hard. Me I go party hard. I see me now party hard, hard. Me I go party hard. I see me now party hard. See me now zoom 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 party hard. Zoom zoom. I see me now party hard. So I see a girl I like, and I gotta move in swiftly. If a man them see her and wanna meet her, so I gotta move in quickly. I grab the waistline, yeah, she with me. Right to the left, left to the right, or backwards. She wanted me down and wiggling back up. Hey, can I have your number? Can I have my number?
All right, it's everybody's favorite breakfast, the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM, 10 past 7. Thank you so much for staying with us. And just had the BBC news. Guys, Charlie, some small concerns deal. Charlie, we have to deal with this matter. So yesterday, I'm sure you listened to, it was Newsnight, wasn't it?
PM Express.
PM Express.
Top Story.
Top Story.
Yeah,
so even
Top
before
Story.
Newsnight. Yeah. That rumor that has been flying around that some businessman went to try and induce the MPs with some cash. Well, one of the MPs spoke on Top Story. Let's just listen to what he said.
We have been meeting on this subject matter, and there was an occasion that we a man approach us to want to mediate between us, Brussels, and the finance minister. We assured him that we didn't have anything against the finance minister per se, except that the public confidence in him had waned, and that we had been so informed by our constituents, and therefore we thought that it was time for him to go, so that we will rebuild public confidence in the ministry and in the government. The man came and talked to us about it, wanting us to turn around and consider the decision to appeal to the president to relieve him. We listened to him, and he said that when he had come here to talk to us, we had given him the opportunity to address us, and therefore he wants to leave something behind for us. We did. He got somebody bring it, and we said, sorry, we cannot take anything. It is not for reason of money that we are taking this decision. We are motivated by our conscience to so do, and therefore it is not about materialism. And that's where it ended. We returned the money to him, and he took it away. So it ended there.
So he left money behind?
No, he left money behind.
He gave it to somebody?
Money behind.
Okay.
It was there that he came, and he went away with his money.
So he came, he offered, but you turned it down, and he went away with the money?
Yes, we turned it down, he took his money away, and that's where it is.
So, in your estimation, I know you are a very astute lawyer, was this an attempt to induce, to bribe you?
Well, we would not consider it as bribe because there was nothing that we were doing to his advantage as a person. So that would not constitute bribe. It was something that he was doing to try and get us to accommodate him, probably. And that cannot qualify for bribe. If bribe is when you have taken something to do the thing that you would otherwise not do. But he had no personal interest in the matter, so why would he pay bribe? Maybe he was trying to offer something by way of trying to associate with us. So I wouldn't call that bribe. And in any case, it was not given. So nobody was a beneficiary of this gift or offer.
So when you met him, this was the entire caucus, or just those of you 80 or so who first held the press conference?
No, it was not the entire caucus. It was the group that came out on the day.
So he just met the group that came out on the day, last week, Tuesday, the press conference?
That's correct.
And as you said, I just wanted to clarify, he wanted to talk to you in an attempt to see if you can back down.
He said that it is not in the interest of the business community to see this confusion in governance, and therefore, for the sake of the business community and their businesses, let us ensure there is tranquility in the business space, in the political space. That's why he had come to talk to us. He did not have anything personal to pray for us to do for him.
So this was, his message was, this: if you push this agenda, the business community will suffer.
Oh, he said that in the light of the confusion in the leadership of the country, businesses stand to suffer. And therefore, he wanted us to engage the executive in trying to resolve the impasse. That's all. There are many business people in this country. Why him? What was his motive? I wouldn't discuss motives because I wasn't with him when he took that decision, and I cannot read his mind. But you see the question why he chose to make this move. He came to meet you. He presents himself as somebody who is possibly advancing the interests of Ghanaian businesses. But the question is, why him? I mean, did that occur to you? That he was advising. Why he, the individual, not all the other businesses who had the associations that could have done this, but why him in particular? But anybody could have done that, and I also don't know whether he did that in concert with others. So there was no need for us to investigate the group he represented. Neither was there a need for us to investigate his personal commitment and interest in this matter. But I saw him more as a statesman and somebody who has business interests in Ghana